Welcome to Fuhr Arena in Spruce Grove. Sherwood Park Knights taking on St. Albert SA610. Faced them a couple of times this season and struggled both times. Knights looking to come up with a solid performance against this team in Knights playoff fashion. Almost ready to drop the puck here for period number 1. Knights and SA610. Last of the quarterfinal matchups. And SA will take possession off the draw. Cross ice. Carried in over the blue line. Centered pass is picked off. And battle ensuing there. St. Albert will come up with possession again. Shot from the point. That was off of Tiago's shoulder and the crossbar. And up into the rafters. That one will be out of play. We'll get a whistle and a face-off to Tiago's right. Face off in traffic in front of the net. Good stick check there, no shot. Puck rolls into the corner. St. Albert centering passes off legs back into the corner. Sent back to the point, tipped or kept in. Now down low and behind the net. SA to the hash marks. Shot from a bad angle. Good save by Tiago. Puck rolls right out to the blue line. Is kept in though. Kapler will pick it up with a bit of room behind his net. He'll try and send it cross ice for Reed. That one's going to be well in front of him. It'll be icing. And the Knights will get a fresh set of bodies out there and another face-off deep in their own zone. Left of Tiago this time. St. Albert win that one. That one's deflected off the side of the net. Back to the point. Kept in by St. Albert. Cross ice to the hash marks. Into feet. Knights able to clear it out to the blue line, but not out. Pressure from Spencer. Gets a stick on it there. It's kept in, though. And now the Knights will come back the other way. Puck in front of Maine at center ice. Bonikoski will skate into it. Makes a nice move. Shot into the legs of the defender. Bonikoski, Bowman pushes in. Oh, loose puck for Spencer in front. Nice try to get it on the tape there. Kept in. Blast from Spencer. That's off the side of the net. St. Albert able to get it out to the blue line, but not over center. Knights will dump it in and get a change. They'll have to come back in quickly as St. Albert was building speed. Good stick check there from Frey. Puck rolls into the corner. Big number 3 from St. Albert. Tries to push it back to the point. He will. Shot well. Wyan Hyde comes back to the hash marks. Noonan will skate into that one. Tries to make a move around the player and gets stripped. Centered pass is given to Lemab. He's got pressure though. They need to be careful in the slot. It's given away there. Rolling puck. Rolling puck is deflected around Tiago. No chance for him there. And St. Albert get a lucky one. and take the lead here with 12:33 to go here in the first. Good pressure here. Campbell picks up the loose puck. He'll try and send it to Hender in the center of the ice. Couldn't quite get it there through skates. St. Albert are back the other way. Given away to Bonikoski. He'll push it up the wall for Correa. Campbell battling for it. Now Hender. It's passed around him. Good skate play by Lemab there to keep the puck to the outside. It's picked up again by St. Albert and sent wide of the net, but behind the net. Good hit there at the hash marks from Correa. Puck pushed forward. Ends up on the stick of Hender at center ice. He'll send it in deep. And Campbell will give chase. Puck. Good pinch there from Lemab. Couldn't get a piece of the puck, though. It rolls back out to Bonikoski. He'll send it cross ice for Correa. Correa skates into that one. He'll walk around the defender looking for a stick in front. Doesn't find one. He'll send it back to the point. Good shot from Boyce. Into traffic there. Goalie got a piece of it. Rolls into the corner. Reed will pick up the puck coming out of the corner. He'll turn. Tries to hit Correa in front. Correa battling for it. Is able to push it out to the point for Boyce. Boyce will send it back down deep. Reed skates onto that one. Good pressure here from the Knights. Kapler fans on that shot, but it pushes back to the point. Boyce will send it back deep again. Kapler slow getting up there, but back in the play. He'll chase that one behind the net. Gets a good hit in place. Kept in by Breen at the blue line. Reed gets a stick on it in the slot, but couldn't deflect it past the defenders. And St. Albert still not able to get it out, although they'll skate into it at the blue line, at their own blue line, and carry it in with speed. Good skate check there by Boyce, and he'll turn back the other way with it. Pushing it out to the blue line. St. Albert back and forth. Back in front of their own net now. Stretch pass is missed. That one will be icing as it slips through everyone and makes it all the way down to Thiago. Great pressure here from the Knights. On the last couple of shifts here, after giving one up on a lucky bounce in the slot on a bit of a funny turnover. St. Albert win that draw. Bowman will press in the corner. They'll flip it high. It bounces for Lemab. He'll try and thread it to Bowman. It's deflected into the corner. Lemab will pick that one up and he'll walk it into the zone. Dropping it for Maine. Maine's shot is wide of the net. Bridges will pick it up, sends it to Maine. Maine fires. Oh, turned and went far side there. Nearly caught the nearly caught the far side of the net there. Good buzzing here by the Knights. Spencer tries to get one off. That's a head contact hit. No call. He got a piece of it, but not quite enough to get it on net. St. Albert turn it back the other way with a couple of big bodies. And that'll roll to Thiago. He'll cover that one up. We'll get a face-off to his right. Some excellent jump here in the last few minutes from the Knights. Plenty of game left. 9:45 to play here. Noonan tries to chip that one around. He'll get some help from Frey. St. Albert back to their own blue line and pressure from Jacobs. Given away to Noonan. Noonan, he'll roll through. Tries to center a pass. It's onto the stick of St. Albert. They put it to the point. It's off shins and recovered and sent back in. Knights will have to check up. Pressure now from Noonan and Frey. Centering pass is missed by St. Albert at center ice. Knights will recover and bring it back over center, dumping it in. Frey and Noonan will press. Frey picks up that loose puck. Yeah, he'll try and walk it off the wall. Just a late stick check there, but he will strip it and send it back into the zone. He's going to go for a change. St. Albert trying to catch a teammate center ice there. Didn't happen. Knights will send it back into their zone. Just as quickly, though, it'll transition back towards the Knights' territory. Correa pushes it out to center. St. Albert dump it in deep and get a change. Off the glass, too many men? No, we're not going to call that. Okay. I don't think it was the players involved in the transition anyway. Loose puck, Thiago jumping on it, still loose, trying to get it out in front of the net. St. Albert will bring it behind the net. Battle in the corner now. Campbell in there, St. Albert skating out with it, untouched almost. We got some sticks on him, his shot is deflected wide of the net. No pass into the slot, that's deflected. Back into the corner. Durecci will send it up the wall for Hender. It's stripped from him though, and St. Albert will bring it back behind the net. Correa battling for it now. Comes out of the zone, given away to Hender, to Campbell. Campbell will dump it in to Correa, and he was in offside, but that face-off will end up being at the blue line in front of the Knights bench. No, they're going to call it across from the Knights bench from the neutral ice. Better than icing, not by much, but a little bit. 7:40 to go here in the first. 1-0 score in favor of the home team, St. Albert, here in Spruce Grove at Fuhr Arena. St. Albert tripping over themselves in the slot, or at center. They're able to corral it and send it deep. Good battle here. Loose puck into feet, bounces back into the corner off a Knight skate. And we're going to get a penalty for interference to Lemab, I believe. No, it's going to be to Bonikoski. So the Knights will go on a penalty kill here with 7:17 to go. Down 1. Sorry, we haven't put that goal up on the board. There we go. Not sure what Ryan's doing over there, but he's running the clock anyway. Knights win that one into the corner cleanly. It's out to the point and kept in, sent back down to the hash marks. Walking out. Kept to the outside by Lemab. Centered passes through everyone, comes back out to the blue line, but it's kept in. Wow, given. Bumper pass out from behind the net. Good shot, better save by Thiago there as it goes back into the corner. St. Albert working it around the outside. Down low. Centered into feet. Loose puck. Great save by Thiago as the man on the back door stepped forward to get a shot off, but couldn't get it past Thiago. Bouncing puck in the slot. Kapler got all of it, but it was off the shin of the defenseman and kept in the zone. Wow. St. Albert able to walk into the zone there, and that one rung off the post as they were able to get away from pressure coming in from the point. Loose puck back in the corner, bumped in there off of a skate. Centered pass through the legs of Gal. Back to the point. Gal pushes his man off the puck, but isn't able to get all of it as teammate comes to the rescue there. Good pressure, though, to get out of the zone by the Knights. Cross-ice pass, 36 seconds remaining. St. Albert couldn't control that one. They have to come out of the zone. Reed pressuring. St. Albert trying to make their way through center. They will, over the blue line. Durecci will keep his man to the outside. The loose puck sent across. Nobody could get a stick on it. It's dragged into the corner by the St. Albert player. Puck into the far corner now. Breen watching. Keeping to the outside. Great interception there by Noonan. No, by Bowman, pardon me. He'll send that one down. With that, the penalty will expire. Even! St. Albert over the Knights' blue line again. Giving the puck away to Reed. I think he pushed it back into the corner there. Tough to see at this angle. That one chipped out of the zone. It's rolling. We're going to blow that one down before it even crosses the red line. As Bridges was giving chase on that one. We'll have an icing call and come right back into our own zone with 4:56 to go. 1-0 in favor of the home team. Sherwood Park Mammoth, they have 8 shots and the Knights have 2 at this point. Maine avoided at the blue line. St. Albert with time. Defense doing well to clear the net in front of Thiago there. He saw that shot from the slot, high slot, all the way, and he'll hold on to it for a face-off. 4:47 to go here in the first. 9-2 the shots in favor of the home team, St. Albert Mammoth. Lemab will ring that one around the wall for Maine. Maine will collect it with a bit of room in front of him. He'll build some speed through the neutral zone. Gets it in front of the net, gets a stick on it again. Loose puck is tucked in by Kapler in front of the net. As St. Albert got a little sloppy there, and Maine made a great effort to get the puck to the net. Everyone went with it, and it's even. 4:32 to go here in the first period. Knights with some jump after putting that one behind the goaltender. Face-off won by Frey. He's tied up and pulled down. No penalty. St. Albert will pick up the loose puck, come back the other way. Bonikoski separates the man from the puck. St. Albert will get to it first down low. Left behind the net for Lemab. Centering pass is through everyone. Should make it out of the zone. It does. Pressure coming from Noonan and from Jacobs up front. Jacobs nearly collecting that one. St. Albert will send it in. Lemab will collect it and send it cross ice for Noonan. Right onto the stick of the St. Albert defender. Cross ice pass again. They're basically trading this back and forth. Lemab will pick that one up at his own goal line with pressure from behind. Chips it forward. Neither forward decides to collect it, and it's a loose puck at center. Frey pressing forward. He'll send it across the blue line. St. Albert to it first. They'll dump it in. Sent to the point. Jacobs keeps his man to the outside. Deflected. Right in front of the goaltender. Thiago will drop a glove on it. We'll get a face-off to his left. All even at one. On a great effort by the Knights to get the puck to the net and follow it up. 3:30 to go here in the first period. Knights win the draw cleanly. Campbell back to Boyce. Boyce up the wall. Just missed there by Correa. And kept in apparently by St. Albert. Looked close. We'll try that one again. Durecci up the wall. Cross ice pass for Hender to Campbell. Back to Hender. Hender will dump it in. And Correa will get there first. Pressuring the defenseman who gives him the puck. His pass, though, is for no one there, unfortunately, as everybody was in there with him. St. Albert back the other way. No shot. Good defensive effort there. Good hit from Campbell there as he gets a slash in the hands for his efforts. St. Albert cross ice. Bobbled. They look like they're hearing footsteps a little bit. Good for the Knights. Loose puck kept in again. Correa chips it, tries to hit Campbell with it, and nearly did. He gets the puck back. Oh, rolling puck just jumped over his stick. St. Albert back the other way. That blast deflected by Bonikoski wide of the net. And Boyce will step into that one. Gets out to center ice for Correa. Loose puck for Gow. He'll dump it in. Correa was in offside. And St. Albert will play it. Pressure! St. Albert's cross ice pass is a bounce off the skate or the stick. They'll send it back the other way this time. No shot. Great defensive play by Bonikoski. He'll push that into the corner, and Kapler will step into it, pushing it up to Reed. Reed made a great play away from traffic, but had it roll off his stick. He gets another chance, though, as Kapler pushes it to him. He'll get it back from Kapler. Kapler! At odd angle shot. I don't know if Reed got a piece of it or not, but I think Kapler found the 5-hole on the goaltender. It's 2-1 for the Knights. What an effort. Great passing. Solid effort getting the puck out of the zone, and no quit from the Knights thus far. St. Albert's got their hands full now. Bridges comes up with the puck off the draw. He'll drop it for Lemab. Lemab's cross ice pass in front of Bridges. He's got pace. He puts that one in on net. It's into the crest of the goalie high. He'll hold on to that one for a face-off. We'll get one to his right. Bowman wins the draw to the wall. Maine couldn't quite get a stick on it there. Bridges presses. Bowman picks up the loose puck, and Maine will collect it and bring it into the zone. Splitting the defense. Pressure from both Bridges and Maine. St. Albert able to get it to the blue line, but not out. Great pass for Maine. Maine has that one under his skate, pushes it to the far wall. Bowman giving chase now. Bridges picking up the loose puck. He'll fire it in behind the net. Maine now with pressure. St. Albert struggling with the pace here that this Knights line is setting. Given away to Bowman. Oh, rolling puck. He couldn't drag it back in with him. And now St. Albert with pace. Around Durecci. Good save. And a good collection there by Lemab in front. But another great stick. Pushed out to the point. Missed. Defense for St. Albert questioning their abilities. And Maine right on top of that one. He gets there first. Loose puck. Definitely a penalty coming there as Maine is dragged down. That's away, Grayson! The Knights pumped right now, moving their feet hard and looking really dangerous out there. St. Albert a bit on their heels. This is a different Knights team than they have seen all year. This is playoff Knights. St. Albert win the draw into the corner. They'll hit the linesman with the puck. And that one off of traffic. Oh, Frey couldn't get a shot off. It was right on his tape. Noonan now with possession. He sends it across for Jacobs. Back to Breen. Breen shot into traffic. That's off a leg into the corner. St. Albert now back the other way. They're going to choose to ice it. You didn't have to play it. 5 seconds remaining in the period, pardon me. Nice pass up to Frey, and that will do it for the first period. Knights up by one here. To the surprise likely of the home team, we're going to take a quick break for a chat and come back for the second shortly. Knights with the power play for another minute 25 as we start the second period with 20 minutes to play. Hender up front with Correa and Campbell to take the draw. He wins it to Hender and back to Lemab. Up to Bonikoski. Nice pass with pressure, but a calmness that we're not used to seeing from the Knights players here as they move the puck very well. That shot on net. Goaltender forced to cover it up. We'll get a face-off in deep. Campbell with the draw. Loose puck. It's pushed to Bonikoski. Cross ice to Lemab. Down low to Hender. Good patience here by the Knights. Hender will put it round for Campbell. Campbell's got some room. He'll try and walk it out. He's turned back into the corner. Needs a bit of support. He'll push it down low for Gao. Gao with it now, looking for an opportunity to turn. He'll push it to Lemab. Lemab down to the wall for Hender. Hender cross ice for Correa. Nice try just behind him. Sent back by Bonikoski. It's turned over there on a tricky pass. Lemab recovers it though, and St. Albert pressing, and they'll come away with the puck. Hit him. Gotta hit that guy, boys. 13 kills some time off the clock. There's 18 seconds remaining in the power play. St. Albert flying. Now they're moving their feet with a bit of a lift from that power penalty kill. Cross ice pass. Lemab left the man some space. And Thiago comes up huge. What a massive save to keep this a one-goal game. Boyce moving through the neutral zone. The puck rolls to Correa, who dumps it in and goes for a change. It's even strength now. Nearly given away. Rolling puck. Boyce got a stick on it, and Lemab will play it forward with Kapler. Lemab carries it in. He gets a stick check. Sends it to the net. That's onto a St. Albert stick. He'll recover and come back to the point. St. Albert player went down. Kapler able to collect the puck and send it back down low. This one high off the glass, bouncing puck. Gow able to corral it for a moment, but he had a St. Albert player on him, and it's sent all the way back down. Icing waved off. Boyce behind his own net. He's got pressure. Sends it to Kapler. Kapler for Gow. Intercepted there by St. Albert. They'll dump it in. Taking a hit for their troubles. Off the glass and to the blue line, but not out. Good shot. Better save. Rebound just drops in front of Thiago, and St. Albert get a stick on it, but Thiago there for the rebound as well. He'll hold on to that one, and we'll get a face-off to his left. St. Albert not going away quietly. Knights need to keep the foot on the gas. Face-off one to the point. Bridges chips it around traffic. Not quite out of reach, though, and it bounces back into the zone. Durecci this time off the wall. It was just behind Maine. Pressure from Bridges. St. Albert giving it away at center ice. Bowman will pick up the loose puck. He'll push it to Bridges up at the blue line. His shot deflected over the net. Oh, the rebound. Nice try, giving it to Maine. Back to Maine in front. Couldn't get it to the backhand to put it up on net. And the loose puck is sent through traffic through center ice there. Boyce getting to it first. St. Albert collecting themselves at center ice. Walking in. That shot wide of the net. Bridges will pick that one up. He gets stick checked, but Boyce will pick up the loose puck and send it in deep. Knights will get a change. St. Albert behind their own net looking for the stretch pass. It'll be a wide pass, and they'll send it back across ice. Bonikoski ready for it, and he makes the hit. He'll pick up the loose puck. Didn't need to panic there. St. Albert was still in an offside position, but picked off by Noonan there at center ice. Onto a St. Albert stick. St. Albert will dump it in deep. And they'll get there first, but they'll pay the price for it. That was a clean hit. Arm up from the referee there. Green's going to get a penalty for possibly a charge. Or maybe a boarding call. Weak. The weak call at best, in my opinion, but my opinion doesn't really matter. So the Knights will go on the penalty kill here with 16:08 left to go here in the second period. Up one over St. Albert. Shots 13-8 in favor of the home team. St. Albert Mammoth. Boyce gets a piece of that one, sends it to the blue line. It's deflected, and Lemab gets a stick on it, deflecting it into the corner off the face of a St. Albert player. St. Albert with a late pass in front, loose puck. They get a shot off. Thiago ready for it. Moves. That one rolls into the corner. They'll regain control of it. Sending it to the point. Now down low. Lemab should get there first. He does. Chips it around to Boyce. Boyce has pressure coming. He'll put it off the glass. It's kept in by the defenseman at the blue line. Cross ice pass off the post. Thiago was there though. If it didn't hit the post, it wasn't getting past him, and the Knights will collect it and send it down the ice. Noonan pressing. He'll blast that player for taking his time getting there. Puck sitting under Noonan as he battles hard for it and has Jacobs helping him out. Pinning that one deep and killing some time on this penalty. The pass attempt off a skate, bouncing favorably for St. Albert. It'll be a 3-on-2 opportunity here. That's going to be another penalty as Bonikoski slew-footed that player. So we're going to be too short now with 56 seconds remaining in the two-man advantage. Boyce goes back on the face-off win, sending it around. St. Albert in front of the net, two of them. They could not get it past Tiago or the defenders, and the Knights will get it out to center ice. Campbell out front for the forwards for the Knights. Durecci and Boyce on defense. Durecci allowing the shot. Was a bit of a loose puck there. Tiago thought he had it. It was rolling, but referee lost track of it. And so he'll whistle that down. 28 seconds remain on the two-man advantage. Face off to the right of Tiago. Kepler wins that draw. Although the puck was tied up in skates, and St. Albert end up with possession. Cross ice to the slot, through traffic. Great save by Tiago. He got a piece of it, but it's loose in front. Given to Kepler. He couldn't get enough on it to get it past the defender. St. Albert still with possession. Don't back in there. Durecci, good stick. St. Albert with possession in front. Passing it around. Great save by Tiago again. It's deflected into the corner. Two-man advantage now over. Rolling puck behind the net. That'll come to Breen. Breen takes a whack there. St. Albert able to keep it in. That shot well wide of the net. Kepler now with pressure. St. Albert able to keep it in. Deflected to the point. Kept in again. Defense going to be tired. They've been out there the whole time. That shot well wide of the net. It looked like it was off the mesh, in fact. But behind the net. Given away to Kepler. That's the way, Knights! Great defending and penalty killing by the Knights. Stretch pass with all kinds of room. Boyce will come through. Shot is handled no problem by Tiago and into the corner. Three men in front for St. Albert. Not able to get a stick on it, though. A great deflection there by Boyce as he got a piece of it coming across in front of the net. Net is off, and whistle goes with 5 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Some great single efforts there on the penalty kill by the Knights. 5 seconds remaining in the power play for St. Albert. They look flustered at this point. Let's go, Knights! Face off to the right of Tiago. Won by Hender, and Breen will send it all the way around and out of the zone. That will do it for the penalty, and Correa is the first one to it. He'll send it in front for Hender. Great pass and a good shot into the crest of the goaltender. Knights bouncing right back after killing a two-man advantage. Battle at the hash marks here. Not clear who won that draw. Hender pushing around with it behind the net. It's on a St. Albert stick. They'll reverse it. And Breen is able to keep it in. It's off a skate. Tipped around Campbell there. St. Albert with pressure in the neutral zone. Not able to make the pass. And Correa will push it back into the corner for Boyce. Boyce pushes that man off the puck. Campbell will pick up the loose puck as Boyce takes the brunt of a two-man forecheck. Correa in over the blue line, but not onside. Just a stick check at the right time there by the St. Albert defenseman, and we'll get a whistle. Face-off will be in front of the Knights bench. With 12:18 to go, shots 19-9 in favor of the home team, St. Albert Mammoth. Gow ends up with that one at the blue line. He'll dump it in, and then Kepler will give chase. Good pressure there. It ends up on the stick of Reed. Reed pushes it deep for Kepler. Kepler's got some room. He'll turn, tries to fire it to the point. It was through a lot of traffic, though, and St. Albert will come back the other way. St. Albert able to get around Bonikoski and get a good shot from a bad angle. Just able to get it inside the far post around Tiago. And it'll be all tied up at 2. St. Albert with a fortunate one there, I would say. Not able to convert on the two-man advantage. Durecci now beat to the puck there in the corner. He'll battle back for it. Bowman skates over it. St. Albert into the slot. Two forwards dumped through the... two defensemen. It's dumped through the slot there. Floating puck gets deflected into the corner. St. Albert center it to an open man in front again. And they bury that one. Now they're up again for the second time by 1 goal. Shake it off, Knights! Let's go! Knights a bit on their heels on that last play. Not by much, but St. Albert waking up and taking advantage. And that way we will be behind by 1 here. 1 goal separates the two teams. Home team out in front for the second time in this second period, pardon me. That puck makes it through Bonikoski. It'll be icing though, as he didn't touch it. And we'll go back into St. Albert territory. Battle at the hash marks. It comes back to Breen. He'll shoot that one in. It's off the back of the St. Albert winger. It's into the corner now. Battle there. Good pinch by Breen. Loose puck. St. Albert will throw it out to the blue line. Jacobs to Frey. Frey with a shot. Ooh, just wide of the net, far side there. Noonan gets to it first. Great pass back to the point to Bonikoski. Bounced on him funny. He was able to keep it in though. And Jacobs now will pick it up with a bit of room. He'll make it around the stationary defender. Tries to center it. It's off a skate. He'll push it around in the far corner this time. Out to the point, kept in by Breen again. Nice low. Oh, great tip there by Jacobs in front of the net. And St. Albert forced to ice it all the way down. And yes, indeed, it'll come right back into their zone with 10:24 to play here in the second. Knights not giving up either. This is going to be a battle. Right to the end, my guess. Correa, Hender, and Campbell up front now with Lemab and Durecci on defense. Face off to the left of the St. Albert goaltender. Loose puck, rolls back to Durecci. He'll fire that one off a skate, bounces and rolls behind the net. Sent out to the point for Lemab. Lemab keeps that in. Only momentarily, gets another stick check on it. It's pushed out of the zone though, as there were 3 St. Albert players in the vicinity. Lemab now offside. That was out of the zone. Not called offside, and St. Albert with a shot in the slot. Tiago comes up big to keep it a 1-goal game. Campbell will take the draw. Face off left of Tiago. He'll win that cleanly to Lemab. Battle for the puck though. St. Albert trying to send it back to their own point through 2 Knights players. Lemab battling for that one. Chips it up the wall around Hender. Lemab will get it again, but St. Albert pick up the bouncing puck. Campbell steps in there. St. Albert player goes down. Tip through the neutral zone to Correa. He gets a piece of it and sends it in deep. No icing. He'll make a nice move away from pressure. Campbell gets pushed down off the puck. He'll battle to get it back, though. He and Hender back deep. Hender now with possession. He'll get pressure in the corner and have Campbell come to his rescue. Correa now in the far corner. Sent all the way back to the point for Breen by Correa. He'll send it in deep. It's onto a stick of a St. Albert player, though. Bouncing puck at the blue line. Kept in only momentarily and then sent out to the center ice to Boyce, right on the tape. He'll fire it right back in. St. Albert's going to have to work for this. That one icing yet again. And it'll come right back in. Great pressure here from the Knights. St. Albert not accustomed to this. That's the second icing in just as many plays here. Need to put the puck on the net a bit more here and get this shaky goaltender even more shaky. Loose puck. St. Albert pick it up with the blue line with some space. Nice hit by Breen, but it's chipped forward. And Tiago able to make the save and hold on to it for a face-off. St. Albert take the hit, push the puck forward, get a shot off. But Tiago up to the challenge. Face-off will be to his left. 8:42 to go here in the second. St. Albert up by 1. Kepler wins that one cleanly into the corner. Lemab will fire that one around, but not hard enough. It's picked off by St. Albert. Sent to the point. Reed with pressure. And Gow. Back to the point. Reed able to get a piece of it and chip it out to center ice. Reed makes a nice stick check, and Kepler picks up the loose puck. He's got traffic, though. Loose puck again. Big hit. Gow goes down. St. Albert rolling off of a few checks here and able to walk in. Great save. Rebound is put up over the net. St. Albert tries to go backdoor. Tiago ready for that wraparound. Knights caught on off guard here. Good stick by Gow. He'll push that one out to St. Albert Mammoth zone and give chase. He'll press the man off the puck, but they make the pass. He's going to get a cross check for that one. Shot, loose puck. Wow, the rebound comes to Tiago, and he'll cover that one up. Knights will go back on the penalty kill, unfortunately, as Gow's going to take one for cross check. Face-off will be to the left of Tiago. Bridges and Bowman up front to kill this one. Durecci and Boyce on defense. Durecci gets a stick on it to Boyce. Boyce stabs at that one. It goes flying. Loose puck. St. Albert will pick it up. Getting a pass into the slot. Good stick check there by Bowman, and it's tipped up over the net. Back behind the net now. St. Albert looking to center again. It's rolled through Bridges, or rolled through all, and Bridges will chip it into the zone. Wisely and safely with 1:30 to go in the power play. He'll press. Nice try from Bowman there, both nearly picking that off. Bridges should have got a cross check as it was exactly what Gow did. He gets away with one there in center ice. And that one will be called offside. St. Albert clearly not as comfortable as they would like to be, up by 1. Face-off now in front of the St. Albert bench. Still 1:16 remaining in the power play. That might be the cause for concern from St. Albert, as they're not having great success with this power play. Great face-off win there by Noonan, and Maine giving pressure deep in the zone. St. Albert will try to make their way out. They'll get the cross-ice pass, but miss it completely. And it should have been icing. Are they saying they got a piece of it? Okay. Chipped out to Maine. Maine will skate into that one as it's dumped out by Breen, and not an offside call. Breen gets dragged down, Maine does, and that will be a delayed penalty. There you go. St. Albert will take that one and negate the power play. It'll be even strength for about 42 seconds, 4-on-4, and the Knights should go on the power play after that. Bit of extra room here for 42 seconds. With only 4 skaters aside. Great effort there by the Knights. A nice heads-up play by Breen, sending it down the ice, and Frey wins that one to behind the net. Jacobs was there. He's trying to center it for him. Couldn't quite get it there. Good effort by Bonikoski to corral that puck. And Frey was able to pick up the loose puck. Now to Breen. Breen, cross ice for Bonikoski. Pressure from Frey. He gets a stick on it. The Knights will send it back in deep. Even strength here for another 13 seconds. St. Albert will try and stretch things out. Bonikoski wisely pressing back with a bit of space. Good stick check from Bonikoski. Loose puck picked up by Frey. He'll chip it around. Trouble. It goes back to Bonikoski, and now on the power play. Too many! No call there on the too many men. Breen tries to connect with Gal, but it was through a St. Albert stick. St. Albert goes down and Gal drags it through the man. He'll dump it into the zone with maybe a bit too much haste. Nope. It's waved off. It'll roll around to Hender on the far hash marks. He'll move away from pressure with quick hands and leave the puck for Frey. Frey now. He reverses behind the net. Trying to get it into the slot. No one there to take the pass. He'll push it to Hender. Hender to Lemab. Lemab deflected. Loose puck sent out of the zone as Breen was in deep. And it's sent all the way back by St. Albert. Not quite, pardon me, just to the ringette. Lemab now off the wall for Hender. Hender will have that one slip off the end of his stick, and Breen will have to have a go at it. Breen, cross ice for Correa. Correa picks that one up, skating backwards, reverses, and nearly shakes the defender there. It's rolled up to the point and comes out through Lemab. Durecci will chip it forward for Campbell. Campbell pushes it over the blue and picks up the clearing attempt and tried to backhand it off the defenseman. Nearly did. Now, finally, we will get a too many men call. Let's hope. St. Albert pushing their luck yet again, and that getting whistled down on the icing, but they're gonna talk about too many men here, and it will be called. 2 minutes, too many men, so St. Albert will go on the penalty kill, and the Knights will go on the power play with 4:09 to go here in the second period. 26 shots for the Mammoth versus the 11 for Sherwood Park. Not sure I completely trust the count, but it's probably not too far off, as the Knights do need to get a few more at the net here. Power play opportunity for the Knights. First one I can recall in a while. Face-off deep in St. Albert territory, left of the goaltender. Face-off is won and pushed back to the point. Lemab will give it to Durecci. Durecci steps into that one. That one a little high and wide. Lemab will keep it in at the near point here. He fans on the pass, and St. Albert will take possession, coming back the other way. St. Albert in offside. Knights back the other way, up to Reed at the blue line. He'll cross the blue and delay. Gets a nice pass to Gao, just couldn't get enough of it to put it behind the goaltender. What a great attempt. And St. Albert collect it and send it all the way down. Tiago leaving it for Durecci. Durecci for Kepler. Kepler into traffic, able to step away from it though. And chips it to Gao at the blue line. It's intercepted by St. Albert. Lemab will chip it into the zone. He gets a stick on it at center. And Reed makes a nice move to reverse, but Gal wasn't quite out of the zone yet. It'll be offside. Whistled down, and we'll have a face-off across from the Knights bench. 105 remaining in the power play for the Knights. We'll have Bridges, Bowman, and Main up front with Boyce and Breen on defense. 1 to Spencer on the wall. He'll drop it back for Bowman, who sends it to Bridges again. It slipped away from him. He'll get it to center, but St. Albert will pick up the loose puck and send it back down. Boyce now, with pressure coming. He'll turn it up to Breen. Breen panicked a little bit there. The puck's given away to St. Albert, but back to Boyce. Right out to the blue line. St. Albert will dump it in, and the bouncing puck will slip past Boyce. He'll go back to recover it behind his own net. Pass sent up to Main. Main gets it chipped through traffic and in deep. He and Bridges will give chase. It's given away to Main. Main needing some help there. Kept in at the blue line on a nice stretch by Lemab. He'll send it cross ice for Breen with some room. Looking for a stick in front. A good shot. Rebound rolls to the net. And Main takes a swipe at it, but the goaltender on top of it. 8 seconds remain in the power play. St. Albert win that to the wall. Lemab with possession. He'll push it down low and gets it back at the blue line. He'll fire it, deflected, but just stopped essentially by Noonan there in the slot. And St. Albert first to it. Tiago's forced to cover it up as the player comes out of the box, and we're at even strength now. 2:03 remains in the second period. Face off to the left of Tiago, even strength. Maine wins that one forward, or pardon me, Frey wins that one forward. St. Albert with a bit of room, a shot that was off the bar, it looked like, no goal, but looking a bit dangerous. St. Albert centering pass is intercepted by Bonikoski, rolling puck. Frey able to get a stick on it enough to push it to center. Grayson chasing, giving pressure. St. Albert able to push it back the other way, but giving it away at center, only to get it back off of a funny bounce on a rolling puck. Lemab tries to keep his man to the outside. That one deflected in traffic. Chipped through. Knights coming back the other way here. Nice pass out in front of Frey, just out of his reach. Didn't have enough gas to get there. Good check by Noonan. Back to the point. Good shot through traffic there. Tried to get a tip on it was Noonan. Couldn't quite get there though, and St. Albert will come back the other way now. St. Albert will step over center, dump it in, and look to change. Correa will pick up speed behind the net. Sends it cross ice for Hender. Hender will chip it into the zone smartly. And he will give chase as Correa comes ripping in as well. That one's chipped over Campbell's stick, and St. Albert will come back the other way. Durecci gets a stick on the puck. Another stick check there. Loose one rolls to the goaltender, and Tiago will be forced to cover it up. There'll be a face-off again to his left with 39 seconds to go here in the second. A one-goal game. 3-2 in favor of the home team, St. Albert Mammoth. Not for lack of effort on either side. Knights win that draw. Boyce gets pushed off the puck, but Campbell steps in and pushes the puck underneath them. Boyce to Hender, to Campbell. Campbell will dump it in and chase it down. He will put pressure on. He goes down though. Correa has that one bouncing off his skates. Campbell now digging for it. Tying it up below the goal. 14 seconds. The St. Albert Mammoth probably content to keep it frozen back there, although they'll try a ditch stretch pass and make it play around the defender. Cannot get it past Tiago though. And Durecci has that one come off the defender just as the penalty, or just the attacker there, pardon me, just as the just as the period comes to an end. So we're through 40 minutes. Pardon me, we're through 35 minutes, 20 to go in the third. We'll take a break and come back for the third from a different vantage point after this. Welcome back for the third period. We've got a new vantage point here. Knights have St. Albert in their own zone. Lemab keeps that one in at the point. Chipped out to the neutral zone. Green will collect it. Pardon me, that's Bonikoski. Reed will touch that one offside, I guess. And we'll get a face-off across from the St. Albert bench. St. Albert able to dump that one in deep. Knights rim that one around. It's kept in. Carried behind the net. Centering passes off his skate back into the corner. Maine will pick that one up, and he'll drag it out of the zone. Good effort from Maine. Over the blue line. He's got Bridges going to the net. Tried to get it back to him. Kept in at the point by Boyce. Sent down low for Maine. That puck through Maine, and St. Albert will come back the other way now. The cross ice pass is missed. It will be icing as it goes all the way down. Shot from the point is blocked. St. Albert coming back the other way now. Boyce able to strip that one with the help of Durecci, and Boyce will carry it behind the net. He fanned on that clearing attempt. Durecci picks up the centered pass and gets it on the backhand of Noonan. St. Albert's still alive here. Now Frey with it. He'll send it cross ice for Jacobs. Jacobs was able to get a stick on it, but not enough to keep it from heading all the way down the ice. We'll get an icing call and come right back into our own zone. Face off to the right of Thiago. Knights win that one. Bonikoski cross ice to Jacobs. Up to Noonan. He'll stick that one forward to the goaltender. We'll get a face-off deep in St. Albert territory. Face-off to the right of the St. Albert goaltender. One back to the point. Breen through traffic. It's off a skate. St. Albert back the other way. They give it right back to Breen at center ice. He'll dump it in. And the Knights will clear the zone and start pressure again. Puck through the neutral zone is picked off by Bonikoski. And St. Albert will touch that one offside. Although I believe it was brought in by Bonikoski, so possibly would not have been offside, but we'll definitely take it. And we'll have a face-off in front of the Knights bench in the neutral zone. Campbell wins that one out in front of Hender. Breen now will chip it forward to Correa. Correa floating pass, bounces back to him. He gets stripped of the puck though. Bonikoski with a big hit coming in there. Breen with a floating puck. Campbell will pick it up and bring it out of the zone. He'll get it out and take the hit. Correa coming cross ice with pressure. St. Albert through the neutral zone and make the move around the defender. The pass to his teammate was behind him, out of reach, so no shot on that play. Battle in the corner. Knights come up with it. Breen up the wall for Campbell to Hender. Hender cross ice for Correa, who's behind him. And Bonikoski's able to get a stick on it, but St. Albert able to get all of it and send it back deep into the zone. Breen will reverse behind for Bonikoski. He's not able to get to it there at the end of a long shift. St. Albert center a pass. It's deflected. No shot. Hender will collect it now on the hash marks. Pushing it back below. Campbell in there battling with Breen. St. Albert walking out. No shot. Loose puck. Kicked forward. Now to the side of the net and behind. Bonikoski tied up there. Kept in at the blue line by St. Albert. Only briefly, though, as the puck now comes out and is in deep. Correa making an attempt to get to it, but it'll be called icing, and it'll come right back into the Knights zone. .58 to play here. 3-2 the score. Shots 30-15 in favor of the home team, St. Albert Mammoth. Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Gonna say that wasn't icing, so it'll be at center ice. Won by the Knights. Push forward to Reed. Reed will dump it into the zone. Gal will give chase. St. Albert letting him get to it first. Gal in the corner battling for it. He's got Kepler there with him. It's pushed up to the hash mark. St. Albert have a look and cross ice pass again. This time not with enough weight to be icing, but it's missed. And the bouncing puck, Durecci throws right to the St. Albert player. He'll recover. battling for it now in the corner with two St. Albert players. Pushes it out to Reed. Reed with a bit of room. He'll make a move around the defender. Can't beat the second one, though, and he'll try and strip it back from that player. As St. Albert try to whack it around. They kept in by Lemab and sent back below the goal line. Given away. Oh, floating puck is able to find its way to center. Lemab battling for it. He'll go down. Number 3 looking for an open stick. He'll walk it out in front, but takes a whack for his efforts, and Thiago will cover up that puck. We'll get a face-off to the right of the goaltender. Knights will get a fresh set of legs out there. Main, Bowman, and Bridges up front. Green and Boyce on defense. Face off to the right of Thiago. It's one to the wall. Boyce is stick tied up. Main will step in and collect it, but he's got big number 5 right in front of him. Loose puck. St. Albert. Good stick check. Back to the point. Shot is wide of the net. Bridges will pick up the loose puck. He gets it to Bowman. Bowman chips it out to the blue line. He'll pressure it. He's able to push it forward. Finds Main cross ice. That shot is deflected well high over the glass. And we'll get a face-off in deep. With 14-13 to play here in the third. Still a one-goal game. Shots 31-15 in favor of the St. Albert Mammoth. Bowman with the draw. Bridges and Main up front. Bridges gets the puck as Main battled through that. Another stick. St. Albert will gain their own blue line into the neutral zone. Chipping it in down low. Boyce giving chase. A pass into the middle. Oh. The pass into the middle is bumpered to the far post. St. Albert player standing there all by himself is able to put it up over Thiago. No chance for the goaltender there. St. Albert get a good goal, and they're up now by 2 with 14-15 to play here in the third period. Knights having one unfortunate zone entry there, and St. Albert able to capitalize with 14-15 to play here in the third. Knights will have to generate something here. Frey tries to get in over the blue line. He cannot. It's sent back into the feet of Bonikoski. Frey will recover now at center ice. He'll chip it up over the defenseman, and Jacobs will try to get there first. St. Albert will step away from pressure there and send it up through the center of the ice. The outlet pass is missed and well in front of the player. It'll be icing. We'll come back into St. Albert territory with 13:48 to play. Still a lot of time left here in the third period. Knights needing to test this goaltender and get some shots fired on him. First 2 goals were shots put to the net. And we need to see more of that. Lemab back into his own zone. St. Albert will get there first. Stripped of the puck, though. Bonikoski will roll into the corner for it. He'll chip it forward softly for Noonan. Chipped around the defender, but not quite. Frey trying to battle for it. That's off the face of the St. Albert winger. Good stick check there. Puck to Jacobs. He'll push it forward to Frey. Frey looking for Noonan. Just out in front of him. It's going to be icing as he was on the wrong side of center for that stretch pass. Faceoff will come back into the Knights zone with 13:14 remaining in the third. 4-2 the score. Shots 32-15 in favor of the Mammoth. Knights yet to register a shot this period. Campbell battling for that. He'll push it to Correa. Correa tries to send it across. It's deflected up over the glass, and we'll get a face-off to the right of Thiago. Campbell with the draw. It'll be 1 to the point through traffic. Doesn't hit anyone all the way into the corner. St. Albert with possession. Centered into feet. St. Albert get a shot off, and the second man in the slot. It's kept in, deflected twice. Bounces for Durecci. Durecci will make a move out of the zone, but needs to move the puck. Good pass from Correa to Hender. Hender's pass is out in front of Campbell, but Hender collects the bouncing dump out, and Campbell and Hender will battle for a deep in St. Albert territory. Fortunate bounce to Campbell. He tries to get it to Correa. It's intercepted by St. Albert and brought back the other way. Loose puck. Durecci gets stepped around there, unfortunately. Great save by Thiago. Loose puck in the slot, picked up by the Knights, but given right back to St. Albert. A good block there by Boyce. And battle ensuing here at the ringette line. Pushed out to the blue line. To center, D to D, and dumped right back in by St. Albert. 12 minutes remaining now in the third period. 2-goal game separating the two teams. St. Albert walkout from the hash marks with a clear walk to the net, taking a shot. Thiago up to the task on that one and leaving no rebound. Will get a face-off this time to his left. .35-15 the shots in favor of St. Albert. Reed nearly escapes the zone there with the puck, but St. Albert turn it back the other way. Trying to dump it into legs. It rolls to Thiago. He'll cover that one up. We'll get a face-off to his right this time. Apologies, I had that muted the whole time. It's probably some of my best work, but you didn't hear it, so I'll have to start again. Apologies again for not having the score up to date there. It's 5-2 with 3 minutes remaining. Knights with a bit of pressure here, keeping the St. Albert team in their own zone. Campbell looks to center to Reed. Rolling puck loose at the side of the net. Battle ensuing. Correa tries to get a stick on it. He can't. St. Albert will send it to the blue line. It's kept in. And Green will step in and fire. It's off of a leg into the corner. Battle ensuing in the corner there. Reed will chip it out to Correa. Correa fires it. It's off a skate into the other corner. And Boyce will press. Loose puck. Reed gets to it and pushes it deep. St. Albert able to get it back up the wall, but not far, as they face pressure again from the Knights battling. Knights with an extra attacker out there with the net empty. They fire a shot on net. Goaltender saw that one pretty cleanly. He'll make the save, puck in this near corner now. Correa walks out with it, pushes it out for Boyce. And battle in front of the net. Looks like two are going to go, one apiece. Nope. No, it looks like St. Albert picked one up. So it'll be a power play for the Knights with just under 2 minutes to play here.
Still a chance, Pepper.
Still a chance. Absolutely. Face off to the right of the goaltender. A two-man advantage for the Knights here. With the penalty to St. Albert. They win that draw, though, and send it down the ice. It's wide of the net. No icing, though, as they're shorthanded. I don't think the Knights were aware, and St. Albert beat us to the puck. Bonikoski able to strip it. Noonan forward for Lemab, I believe. He was not able to corral it. It's sent all the way back down again by St. Albert. First on the touch, again, St. Albert. Minute 30 remaining. They're able to dump it deep again. Lemab will go back for it now with a bit of space. Pressure now from number 5. Bumper pass back to Lemab, and he'll carry it forward, but he'll get stick checked at center. Bonikoski will put it on net. The goaltender will cover it up with Kepler in deep, getting a chip in there. He may come up with a penalty on that one, not sure. Doesn't look like the arm's gone up. Minute 13 remaining in the power play for the Knights. Minute 12 remaining in the period. 5-2 the score in favor of St. Albert. Knights just not able to generate anything of much caliber here in the third period to get them going. And that one blocked and kept in. Bonikoski pushing forward, skated over it. It comes out to center ice. It's given back to St. Albert, into the feet, bouncing puck. Kepler able to push it to Maine. Maine and Bridges up front. 53 seconds remaining. It's turned over again at the blue line. That one off the side of the net. And Knights are going to come up with a penalty on that play. They'll be forced to put the goaltender back in between the pipes with 45 seconds to go here in the third. Still a three-goal deficit. It'll be 4-on-4 for at least a brief period here, unless the Knights are able to get control of the puck. Frey pushes forward with it. He needs to move his feet as he gets a stick check from behind and gives the puck to the defenseman at the blue line. He'll battle back, though, and push it back into the zone. Puck rolls to Durecci. Durecci on the backhand, sends it to the net. Bouncing puck. St. Albert back the other way. 2-on-2 here, making a move around Durecci with 20 seconds remaining. Get a soft shot at the net. Durecci picks up the loose puck. Gets it to Noonan. Noonan looking for an opening. He'll send it into trapping as Frey was out of reach. With 8 seconds remaining, that will do it. Knights just not enough for the St. Albert team. Could not get a bounce in the third period to go their way. An excellent effort in the playoffs here, but that will do it as the Knights are eliminated. An excellent effort in the playoff run here. Just could not generate enough here against St. Albert. Battling hard though, not giving up. That will do it for the season play, but we do have the tournament remaining at the end of the month. This one will sting for a bit, but I'm sure will be forgotten fairly shortly as we'll head into the tournament with high hopes. Thanks very much for joining us from Spruce Grove Grant Fuhr Arena. We will see you at the tournament down south at the end of the month.